Good day from SeaWorld San Diego. I'm very excited because this is the last time I will be riding Wild Arctic ever. They are taking it away January 10th, 2020. So not too much more time to be here. Unfortunately, I won't be here the last day, so this is going to do it. Final ride. Also, we'll see what's going on throughout the rest of the park and then check on Emperor. We'll check inside the park on that, and on the way out, before I leave at the end of the video, we'll check from the parking lot. Coming in, I couldn't tell, but I think they finished the drop. So that'll be very exciting to see. Let's go. You can see they've started setting up for the Lunar New Year, which is starting this upcoming weekend, January 11th. You can see all the banners around the entrance. Now, if you're an annual pass holder, you can come to one of these kiosks and get a free quick queue for Wild Arctic before it closes. Again, at the time of me posting this video, there's only 2 days left to ride it. This is really neat they have set up. I actually have never been to one of the Lunar New Year events at SeaWorld. We'll definitely be here this year. I plan on being here this Saturday for the opening of it, so check out that video if you're interested. This guy's cool. All of these actually spin as well. No corn dogs today because it is in fact a very slow day, which is ironic. The last time I was here was the busiest I've ever seen it. Now it's back to nice and slow. Something kind of interesting, they still have all the Christmas stuff set up. They're no longer doing the Christmas celebration, but it's still all out. Even on the Sky Tower. I guess it's not like Disney where it's an overnight transformation. You'll see most of the seats are empty on Electric Eel. The whole two back cars don't have anyone in them. I feel like the Icebreaker ride that's coming to SeaWorld Orlando is going to be the same ride system as Electric Eel, because it looks, based off the promo art, it looks like it's just going to go back and forth on the same piece of track, and it even ends at the top. But that'll be cool to see a different layout of the same ride system. Coming in the park, it said Atlantis was closed. Clearly this is going to be long term because they've drained everything. Kind of wild to see. Now this is fascinating, and I didn't think of it too much. Because Atlantis is part coaster, part water ride, you do actually leave the tracks. This is just, all it is like a little area for the boat to go through, no track or anything. But of course, once you go back on the lift, you're on a roller coaster track. So I didn't know they swapped. I actually kind of thought it was just on a track the whole time. Coming back to Atlantis, you can see this is all boarded up. Even the aquarium. Usually when they do work over here, the aquarium is at least open. But take a look at this. They finished the drop on Emperor, and you can see that they actually have the first loop kind of coming up out of the ground. We'll get a better view of this from the parking lot when I head out of the park at the end of the video. Here we are at Wild Arctic. This is exciting. The final flight. This is one of those rides I've always said has needed to go or get refurbished. I'm actually glad it's happening. Doesn't look like I'm even gonna need to use that quick queue. No surprise there. Completely empty back here. Now the rumor is at the moment that they're probably building a coaster over here where Wild Arctic is at. That has not been confirmed, but 2021 is the year that that's all going to happen. Now the exhibit is still going to be open, which is strange because these are simulators, 4 simulators in a room. That's not a lot of space to build a coaster unless it goes outside, maybe back near Emperor, because SeaWorld is very good at finding space. Ever since I've come here, they've opened a new ride every year, and strangely enough, they just keep finding more space. They haven't closed anything else, at least since I've been coming. But let's get on the ride one last time. I'm wondering how you'll get to the exhibit, because as of now, you have a simulator, but you also have your walkthrough option over here as well. So you'll probably have to go backwards through the gift shop to get to see the animals. This way to the helicopters. Could you imagine waiting through all of this for Wild Arctic? Here we go. I really do like the theming in here. Of course, this thing can hold a lot of passengers. Gotta love the graphics on this. They actually skipped the pre-show and just sent us straight in because there's such a small crowd here. This thing sure does hold a lot of seats.
Come in, White Thunder. This is Arctic Control.
This is Captain Emerson White Thunder.
our rotors to whisper mode so we can get in close. Oh, look at that. A mother and her cubs. Water entry complete. Whoa! That narwhal almost came in for a visit. It's an avalanche! We're coming in. This is Captain Emerson thanking you for flying White Thunder. I hope you all have a great time exploring Base Station Wild Arctic.
Alright, so we just got off Wild Arctic from over there on that one. But you can see they have a simulator here as well. And they have two more over on the other side. And that's the size of the building. They have this in-between section because you can choose to just walk through also. That's how much space they have to make whatever they're making. Unless, of course, they go into the parking lot and whatnot. I'm sure they're gonna bust down some walls here. I do love on this ride how when you exit into Wild Arctic and then go to the animal viewing area. I doubt they're going to touch anything beyond here because this is leading you into where the animals are, and this is all going to stay open while they're building whatever they're building here. Another thought I just had is maybe they could use more space back from here because there's currently a beluga viewing area right there, and here you have like the hut area, but they could bust it all down and make this the entrance to the viewing area because you can still see the belugas through here. That would give them a lot more space if they took that area out and that one over there as well. What's cool is at the end of the ride footage, as you're landing in Base Station Wild Arctic, you'll see this shipwreck in the background. Nice detail and theming there. It's funny, I never really get this close to the walruses because it's always so packed back here. This guy's just hanging out upside down. That is a big boy. This one has no tusk. Here he comes. The belugas always seem to really like that spot. They might be getting fed right now. I never really noticed it, but look how much detail they put into this elevator to make it look like a shaft to come back up. Also, when you exit Wild Arctic, they have like a fake terminal departing passengers. That is it, the final flight on Wild Arctic. It's been a fun run. I've always said it needs to get updated, and it's so awesome to see that they're actually doing something with it. And I'm very excited for whatever it's going to be. It's obviously going to be an Arctic-themed ride, but I never really thought much about it, but this is easily the most themed ride they have here in SeaWorld San Diego. I mean, they have the pre-show, they have the ride leads into the exhibit, and the exhibit even brings you back. So really well done theming there, whereas every other ride here is just a generic ride, essentially. There's no storyline to it. So whatever they put in here, I think is going to be pretty excellent. So ride it while it's still here. It's funny, the Lunar New Year event starts in 3 days, and all of the Christmas stuff is still up. I haven't seen any Lunar New Year stuff except the decorations out by the entrance. I wonder how much of it they're going to reuse, like the food booths over here. Maybe they'll use them. Most of the year they have something here. You could say win an Xbox. Oh, or not. Might as well do Electric Eel because it's a walk-on. You can see no one up there. But they added this railway here. This tarp on. I always forget how fun that ride is until I go on it again. I think I may like it better than Manta, actually. Usually I just don't do it every time because you need to put your stuff in a locker. This is one I would not wear it in my pockets, but they do have a little bin, so I went high risk and put my wallet, phone, camera, all in the bin. Very fun.
And when they walk on land, they walk in a waddling-like motion.
You know, it's a slow day for them feeding out here.
Also are very
when there's barely any birds.
So those are the animals. Also do not have ear flaps. The sea lions do. They just have ear openings.
Hey. As I was walking away from the sea lion and seal area, the announcer, she was saying that the average life expectancy of harbor seals is 25 years. They have one here that is 38 years old. Wow. And they say SeaWorld doesn't take care of animals. I wonder who the alpha is. Probably that guy kicking. Oh no, they went and remodeled this porch here and gave it a nice little overhang, but they got rid of the feeding stations. Are you no longer allowed to feed the flamingos? That's a little upsetting. Tidal Twister closed again. And the sign here actually says operational improvement. That is kind of fascinating to me. Usually they'll say maintenance or something like on any other rides, but it's just strange. I guess they have more issues with it. They've got to figure it out. Because I want to ride it again. It's a fun ride. This is interesting because I wanted to see what they were doing. Looks like they got some parts sitting over there. They have wheels on them, probably new wheels for the actual coaster. But those tires look brand new. One of the problems I remember the last time I rode this was the tires were actually skipping. When they were trying to get the momentum to bring this thing up and around, it kept skipping. Very strange, but those tires look new and hopefully they have better grip and can get the thing going. Normally every time I've come they have lettuce in here, but they're eating something else. Not too sure what it is, but they seem to be enjoying it. Going in for a big bite. Oh. Stopped in the Shipwreck Cafe to get the ginger soy salmon. I've had it before, but it's been so long I'll try it again. And before getting into this, I want to point out I tried getting the all-season dining pass. It's $119 all season. For me, that'll be a huge deal because I come all the time. Thing is, they associate it with your annual pass. My pass expires on the 20th. I plan on renewing it, but I'll go to guest services and see if I can just renew my pass and get the thing. And I'll start tracking how much I'm saving by getting that. Well, this is strange. They moved this grilled cheese stand, which is usually in front of Sesame Street, right in front of the Sky Tower. And that whole section's closed off. And now I can see why. They're setting up for the Lunar New Year. Good to see. Probably have a stage there, maybe a stage show, I'm guessing. And of course, the Crepe Shop is getting a makeover. It seems like they reuse this for every event that they do. Here's a little preview of what you can expect here. Ramen soup, pork belly ramen, chicken ramen, veggie ramen. Sounds pretty good. I will absolutely be back here because I love bao buns. And these sound really good. I've never had any like this. Pork belly, fried chicken bao? Fried chicken, that's awesome. And garlic edamame, yeah, I will absolutely be stopping here. Alright, let's head out of the park into the parking lot to see how Emperor is looking. And just like that, we're here in front of Emperor. They have done a lot since the other day. Look at that drop. That is straight down. We'll get a side view of that here in a minute, but I wanted to stop here first because you can see it curving on up. My guess is it's going to be a loop. Not 100% sure. Or either that or it's going to curve over and come back down. Can't wait to find out. Yeah, check out that drop. You really can see it better from here. It just goes straight. That's awesome. And there's a piece of track, a curved piece coming up here. And you'll see they have supports over there as well. So I don't know if that's actually mounted to the ground or it's just a piece they've got to put somewhere. But that definitely looks like that's meant to be there, that support right there. Very neat. Alright, it's getting a little bit windy out here. That is going to do it from SeaWorld San Diego. Fantastic day. Here a lot longer than I thought it would be. Wild Arctic, farewell. Good while we had you, but looking forward to whatever is going to replace it because I know it will be themed well, and that's awesome. I like themed rides. They don't really have a lot of this here at SeaWorld. You can see this thing is getting done very quickly. Looking forward to that later this year. It's still funny to say this year. Also, the Lunar New Year events. That's starting in a few days. I plan on being here that Saturday, so I'll record all the action and see what they have to offer. But that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching. The caravan is moving on.